Is it possible for Allah to punish a people for their lack of haya or for the prevalence of zina? This is something that we find very clearly in the Quran and Sunnah. When it comes to the people of Lut alayhi salam, they were punished and destroyed as a nation because of the actions that they were committing. And within hadith, there is a hadith attributed to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that says that when zina becomes rampant, then there will be new unprecedented diseases that will befall people. So this idea of divine punishment in this life is found very clearly in the Quran and Sunnah, and it's tied to a lack of haya and the predominance of zina. This is relevant because recently popular Pakistani religious figure Maulana Tariq Jameel was in a lot of controversy because of statements that he made. He was criticized by feminists for saying that there could be punishment from Allah because of a lack of haya, because of dress, because of dancing, because of a type of behavior from women. In reality, when we look at his comments, he makes it very clear. He says, when a Muslim's daughter lacks haya and the youth indulges in immorality, then Allah's torment is unto such a nation. If you look at what he's saying carefully, he is not only putting the blame on daughters, he's saying a Muslim's daughter, meaning it could be a father, it could be a mother. One critic of Maulana Tariq Jameel wrote on Twitter that if it's because of the behavior of women that has brought down this adhab on the world, then why does the virus affect men more than women? This is a good question. If it's the case that men are being impacted more negatively, it is also due to the irresponsibility of men to curb the lack of haya, to have this kind of protectiveness of their family members. When our children fall into behavior that lacks haya and promotes zina, then part of the responsibility is on the parents of that nation. Part of the responsibility is on the community as a whole. This kind of behavior has to be curbed through teaching, through guidance from parents, through guidance through schools, and the community at large. And on this point, Maulana Tariq Jameel is exactly correct. There are all kinds of bad consequences from lack of haya and from the prevalence of zina and other types of immorality. And this is something that Muslim scholars have noted throughout history, and it's something that we also find in the thinking of non-Muslim thinkers. You have figures like Ibn Khaldun, a Muslim thinker who is considered to be, quote unquote, the first Muslim sociologist, who has pointed out that nations that increase in their decadence, nations that increase in their immorality, they go through a quick downfall. And you have other figures like Edward Gibbon, who is a British historian who also notes this kind of rise and fall. And he wrote about the Roman civilization and the downfall of Rome. You have in more modern times figures like E. Michael Jones or even Camille Paglia, the female intellectual philosopher and historian. What's the reality here? You have reformers and liberals within Muslim societies that want to push the country into quote unquote liberation. They want to take off the veil. They want to engage in all kinds of Western behaviors. They want to party, they want to dance, they want to drink, and what's keeping them back from that is Islam. What's preventing them from that are the ulama, the religious scholars, and their fathers, and the quote-unquote patriarchy. Now is not the time for these institutions to cower to the feminists or to concede anything to the feminists. We have to be very strongly opposed to this and not apologize. Yes, Maulana Tariq Jameel is absolutely correct. No doubt about it. We have to be extremely concerned about the wrath of Allah. If we want to protect ourselves, if we want to protect our families, if we want to be able to exist, continue to exist as a human species, this type of immorality has to be stopped. This type of fahisha has to be blocked. And we can't start compromising with these feminists and these liberals and these reformers who want to drag the rest of humanity into oblivion along with them. This goes back to the hadith from the Prophet ﷺ, where he gives a parable of those who abide by the hudud of Allah, abide by the sharia, versus those who don't. The ones who do are like those on the top level of an ark or a ship, on the deck of the ship, and those who disobey are on the bottom level, below deck. And when the people on the bottom level are thirsty, they stop asking people on the top level for water and think that out of their laziness that we're going to dig at the bottom of the ship to access the water below the ship. And so they're going to destroy everyone because of this action. They're going to sink the entire ship. It becomes a responsibility of the people on the top deck to prevent the people below deck from doing this destructive action. And when it's in our own families, then we have more of a responsibility. We have to support those scholars and those religious figures who are speaking out on this and defend them against this liberal, feminist, secular onslaught. Also, by the way, there is no contradiction between recognizing epidemiology and the science behind a virus and understanding that that virus is nonetheless a punishment, is adhab. There is no contradiction because Allah can send hurricanes, Allah can send earthquakes, Allah can send asteroid, any kind of thing that Allah wants to send to punish nas, to punish people, He can send that. Allah can use physical means to establish His decree. There's no contradiction in this. So those who are saying that, Muslims don't understand science, this is nonsense, this is bogus. Everything that occurs in the physical world, in the material world, is still obedient to Allah and His will and His knowledge and His qadr. And so there's no contradiction here. So we pray Allah to protect us from any kind of punishment that He may send to us in this life, and certainly any punishment that we might deserve in the hereafter. May Allah forgive us all. Ameen. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also consider enrolling at Al-Asna Institute, where we have many online courses dedicated to analyzing and dissecting issues related to Islam and modernity. Enroll today.